UFC Fight Night, Gamrot, Oliveira, Andy and Jim from Winning in the Shadows are going to break down all of the fights. It's a 4 p.m. Eastern start. We are in Brazil. I got to tell you, very disappointed in the Brazil crowds. They do not bring the excitement. It's very disappointing. I would think it'd be a madhouse, but then UFC goes to Iowa. The place is packed when the fights start. And just really bummed. I expected more from Brazil, but
we get Canada next weekend. That's one of the best crowds as far as energy.
That's a great crowd.
Not fighters, but energy.
They're coming around. They're coming around. So, all right, Jim, let's get into it. Saimon, Oliveira, and Luan Lacerda. We have made a lot of money fading Mr. Saimon Oliveira. I guess the question is, are we going to do it again with Luan Lacerda? What do you think?
Saimon Oliveira is one of the worst fighters on the UFC roster. He's right there with all of our perennial fades. The thing about him is that when he's losing, I know we have a split against Gravely, but Gravely's not a finisher. Or a decision against Gravely. He's not a finisher.
No,
as
he's
soon
never.
As Daniel Marcos, he's not a finisher, destroyer. Right?
True. You're right. It's
destroyed.
a good point.
David Martinez, we already know about David Martinez. He's losing badly is the thing. I'll liken it to my 0-5 Jets, is that not only are they losing, they're losing in horrible fashion. So I think the only way we can look is Lacerda.
Note it down, folks. The 1 minute and 34-second mark, Jim has already talked about how bad the Jets are in a UFC video.
A couple of them through this.
Oliveira is one of those things where what does he do good?
He's a good submission artist, but he doesn't have any of the physical tools to back it up. His cardio's not good. His chin's not good. His grappling is good, but is his wrestling?
No.
Like, if he can't get it there in a dominant position, you're in deep shit. And these losses to Blackshear and Cody Stamen, they're not bad losses by any means.
Yeah,
what does Damon
Lacerda.
Blackshear do to Oliveira?
That's a
Probably
great way to
wrestling
put it.
around
Blackshear nukes him as probably a minus 800 favorite.
Does Cody Stamen finish Oliveira? I think there's a shot. Pillow fist Cody Stamen because he's going to run him into the ground. The guy's got no cardio round 2, round 3. So
Okay.
I think you just have to go with Lacerda and hold your nose and hope that this guy does what he's supposed to do and Oliveira gets his walking papers.
The 2-year layoff is a little concerning. We talk about it. Is there an injury from Lacerda? Is it that maybe just he's gotten a lot better? Nothing is off the table, but I'll have to do a little bit of research in here. But, yeah, this is Oliveira's worst opponent in UFC. So proceed with caution, but this just falls into, what we like betting, the bad and ride the streaks. And Oliveira's been pretty bad in a good fade. So Julia Polastri and Karolina Kowalkiewicz, almost 40 years old. What do you think, Jim? I got one more in me. You think she's got another one in her?
Well, rule number 1 with this fight is we need to find out about retirement. So I would hold off on betting this fight all around because we got to know. When they get to the age, you have to do your research. You have to do your social media stalking. You have to know if they're talking about hanging it up or are actually hanging it up.
Okay.
It is number 1 handicap retiring fighter, bet against the retiring fighter. And they have to announce it beforehand. There has to be some kind of talk about it beforehand. That's the other, important thing. Other than that, I'll use one of our catchphrases. I don't care who wins. Give me fight goes the distance.
Fight goes.
Just fight
okay.
goes. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not putting my money on either girl unless I find out the R word. That's it. I got nothing else to say. I don't really see any danger coming from either side. Polastri's one of the worst fighters on the roster. KK's 40. Take fight goes the distance.
Yeah. Polastri had a pretty exciting moment in the third round when Lupi got tired and they were going blow to blow, and Lupi still got the win. But, I mean, when your one UFC win is a split decision win to Corey McKenna, I think it's dog or pass in this one. I mean, okay, so Felice Herrig, Savoy Juarez, Demopoulos, Balbita, not very impressive fighters. But talk about big-time step-ups in competition. Lucindo and Nisi Gomes, those are real top-notch fighters that are younger, that are more powerful than Karolina, and I just don't think Polastri is all that. I don't think she should be this big of a favorite. This dog or pass on this one, but if you're looking for underdogs, women's fight, if you think it goes the distance, you got a couple, like, if there's a couple close rounds and you're holding a Polastri ticket, you're going to be terrified if it goes the distance. So Karolina didn't have power, but, if she increases the volume a little bit, she can pepper up Polastri. I actually do think Polastri is going to have a little bit more power than her, but skill set wise, I think it's close enough. Agree, goes the distance, and it's Karolina or nothing. One of the most incredible streaks in all of sports is Valter Walker and the heel hooks. I know that's what everyone is going to talk about with Valter Walker, so we'll get to him. Let's just start with Usman. Let's shake it up. Every video that is out there in the space with UFC, when they come to that fight, they're going to bring up the heel hook. So let's talk about Usman and how bad we think he is.
The Thomas Petersen fight was aggravating. I thought that Petersen won that fight against Usman. Now, I'm not going by a whole lot of great technique and action and moments in that fight. That was kind of one of those fights where the judges probably all looked at each other and were like, we really have to pick a winner? Really? We have to? Oh,
you couldn't have felt amazing as a judge picking the winner of that fight.
No,
you could not have felt big-time conviction.
No, I don't think either guy felt like they won. It was really just a downer. Hamdi, we've been on record a million times that this guy Hamdi is just an absolute fraud, and he proves it time and time again. The next time Hamdi fights, if anybody talks about his wrestling, I'm going to just turn the video off. Enough. Stop talking about the wrestling. When has he wrestled? When has he wrestled? The guy's had however many fights at the UFC. We always talk about his Olympic wrestling. He never wrestles. He stands there and gets punched in the face, and he's got a brick for a head. Usman did have to dig deep and come back in that fight. More power to him. But he's going up against a guy who can grapple and is going to hang on his skinny legs. If you look at Usman, he's built just like his brother. From the waist up, they are just monsters. But both of them have these really skinny legs. And I don't see the balance from this Usman, at all. It is not going to take much for Valter Walker to get him to fall over. He might even fall over by himself. Walker might not have to do anything. We've seen him do it. And once this hits the mat, it is a wrap. It is over. It is a total wrap. He is not going to let him back up. The top pressure is going to be too much. I don't know if it's going to be a heel hook again. You said it last time, and I freaking agree with you. He is for sure going to roll for the heel hook if he gets the opportunity.
He's going to try it.
It's coming.
He's certainly going to try it.
I think Valter Walker wilts him at some point and gets a submission again.
Yeah, if you're going to play Walker, I think you can take him by finish. I don't think you need to mess around with the money line. The worry would be is if Usman somehow does keep it on the feet and it becomes a very boring striking match. But I've said again, I've been very impressed with Valter Walker. Like his debut against Lucas Dresky, my God, was that a horrible look. We were like, where'd they dig this guy up at? He's been good. I mean,
I think you forget about that fight. I think you throw that out.
I think you do too.
Person.
No, it really isn't. He's just had a new focus and he's had a new plan of attack, and he just physically has looked better. Go look what he looked like in that Dresky fight with what he looks like now. It's really bad. So now Junior Tafa, we're going to be basically taking a pay cut when Junior Tafa is no longer in the UFC because that's just easy. But heel hooking Dante Amaze, but Kennedy's a real fighter. That was a real win, and Kennedy's got some grappling skills. So I think Valter gets him on the ground, and you're right about Usman. There was something off about his gait in the last. Like it's awkward the way he moves. It's like you could really get him off balance pretty easy. So I think it's Valter Walker. I think it's Walker by finish. I wouldn't take. I wouldn't take submission because. We always say if you're going to take a finishing prop, you just take inside the distance. Don't mess around with it. I will tell you this. I have this picture in my head of Walker at some point getting knocked out because he goes for the heel hook and doesn't get it.
1,000%.
Dives at the heel, doesn't get it, and all of a sudden the guy just wallops him on the ground, big elbow or hammer fist. So it's got to be well timed, and now people are ready for it. If Kennedy wasn't ready for it, now everyone's going to be ready for it. Can they stop it? Who knows? But it'll be Walker. Lucas Rocha. I think it's Rocha. I don't know if it's Rocha or Rocha. I'll go with Rocha. Rocha against Stewart. Nicholl, what's your take on this fight?
I'm very perplexed about this fight. Perplexed about this fight. It is in Brazil.
Yep.
So, of course, we're going to have a Brazilian. He is a slight favorite, minus 122. Beating Clayton Carpenter, are we going to clarify that as
Rocha lost.
Losing to Clayton Carpenter, I don't know if I call that a ball drop, but in that matchup, I don't think Clayton Carpenter's stock is very high. I feel like the UFC wanted him to win that.
I like Clayton Carpenter. They gave
I don't mind him either.
They gave him a
just the
buzzsaw
view,
after
right?
that fight.
Yeah. So that's kind of my point, is they have that, and they give him this buzzsaw. So I don't think the UFC is high on Clayton Carpenter. So losing, I have questions. Now, Stewart Nicholl, only 8-1, from Australia. What does he do great? You know, we love Jesus Aguilar, but he's limited. And he gets a submission on him. So we have two guys that I have kind of questions about. I don't know. Do you have a strong opinion in this fight? I can see the time going. It could be a decision. It could be an under. It could be. I'm really struggling to find something heavy to lean on. I'm kind of out on both guys.
I don't know if I'll bet it, but I really like Stewart Nicholl in this one.
Okay.
Here's why. It goes down as a loss to Jesus Aguilar, and it goes down as a guillotine. Go back and watch that first round. Nicholl was dominating. Nicholl was on top of him and was controlling him. And one itty-bitty mistake, he got shaken off, and Jesus Aguilar grabbed an insane guillotine. And if there's one thing that Jesus Aguilar can do, it's grab an insane guillotine. Pound for pound, probably the best. Maybe one of the best.
Pretty good.
I mean, Jim Miller always has been great at the four loco, or you do the jump gilly. I don't worry when he does it, and I don't worry when Jesus Aguilar does it. I worry when everyone else does it because you know it's not going to work. So, I went back and watched it. Nicholl is strong. He's powerful. I've seen him knock guys out, and he's faced good competition before coming up there. I like his skill set a lot. I think the 17-2 record is throwing people off the scent a little bit here. Some of these promotions that he was fighting in, the Amazonas Regional. Mm-hmm. Come on, give me a break. He's good. Can you imagine what would have happened to him if he would have faced Josh Van in April of 2024? I think Nicholl gets him on the ground, and Nicholl's better on the ground. I think Nicholl can get the finish. It's a close fight on the feet. In the end, I think Nicholl gets it to the ground. I think you're going to see him with a little bit more. No holes in his ground game. He made one mistake, and Jesus Aguilar made him pay for it in the last one. I don't think we see it again. So, yeah, I really like Stewart Nicholl in this one, especially at this price. Oh, boy, our girl, Irina Alekseeva, facing the debut of Beatriz Mesquita. Irina Alekseeva has really good grappling and a good ground game. If you watched her last fight, you would never know it. We've seen wrestlers, grapplers decide they want to try and strike, okay? I've never seen anyone swing as wild and tire themselves out and land no punches like Alekseeva did. That was an embarrassment to watch. It was, I don't know what she was doing. We had bet on her and going, this Segula's got a terrible ground game. Alekseeva should get her on the ground and wrap her up. And all of a sudden, she's just swinging for the fences. She's not going to look like this.
Yeah, what happened? That's what being a cage fighter does.
It's our favorite thing about Alekseeva is whenever we scroll, there's this picture up here that she shows up. It's like, wait a minute, that's not the same person. Yeah. Beatriz Mesquita, a lot of buzz around her coming off of LFA. She's a grappler. You're going to see a shitload of grapplers. She's fought some really good ones. There's Jenna Bishop in there. Juliana Miller she beat. So she's no stranger to combat sports, despite having 5 professional fights. I don't know what to make of this because Alekseeva was so bad last time, but I think Mesquita is way too overpriced here. If she gets it on the ground, she can be good, but her striking is not very good. Her takedowns are okay. She's going to be way smaller and shorter than Alekseeva. Alekseeva does have the reach. And in order for Mesquita to beat Alekseeva, she's going to have to get inside. And if Alekseeva's swinging as wild as she did last time, I think Mesquita is going to have real trouble. Now, if she does get it on the ground, she's a world champ. Was she world champ jiu-jitsu? I can't remember whatever it was. But
she's
anyway,
credentialed. She's a
she's
legitimate jiu-jitsu player.
I don't know, man. Some of these females that come in, it's like, oh, it's credentialed grappler, and then all of a sudden it's different fighting in UFC. You're looking for dogs. I think it's Alekseeva or nothing. And yes, I'm willing to have my heart broken to her one more time. I'm just not willing to risk this much on a fighter that I just don't think her striking is all that good. And by the way, one of her wins was because the opponent illegally upkicked her, and it wasn't even that hard of an upkick. Now, I don't know. Maybe that's me not being. I've never been illegally upkicked. Maybe it's way more damaging, but I don't know. There's a little weak sauce on that fight. What's your take?
You can be up kicked, but it's no harder than getting kicked in the head when you're on your feet.
Okay. Okay. Fair.
Yeah, it sucks. But, getting blasted in the face with a head kick while you're standing kind of sucks just as much. I just think this is a live bet. That's all I can do. I need to know what the hell Alekseeva's plan is going to be.
It's a fair point. It's a fair
I
point.
agree there is no way in hell you're laying this juice on a debuting 5-0 MMA fighter. This script has not gone very well this year. And when you follow trends, you really should follow trends. That's been one that's been really good, is these credentialed, especially these women. Who was the one? Pereira, right? A couple cards ago. Right?
Yeah.
Younger, better, faster, stronger, all these kickbox. I've been fighting, Muay Thai since I was 13.
It was awful. Yeah.
Horrible. Okay? So much for that. I just think you have to wait and live bet and see what Alekseeva can do. If she can stuff the takedowns, she is 100% live to win this fight. If she can get her own control up against the cage and wear this girl out, Beatriz has not seen a ton of resistance. And the one thing about Alekseeva is she is a dog. She will take a beating and keep on coming. It's just a question if she can land her own offense in this fight for me. So if I can watch the first 2 minutes and get a read on it, I will live bet Irina. That's where I'm going to stand on that one.
If you take out the name Irina Alekseeva, you just like you're having to lay minus 520 on a debuting grappler who's only had 5 MMA fights. It's a ridiculous price. It really is. So
now that being said, being in Brazil, we know who they want to win, but we don't always get what we want.
Doesn't always happen that way. So. All right, for the next fight, moving on. Vitor Petrino, big Vitor Petrino, marshmallow Vitor Petrino against our boy Thomas Petersen. I'll let you go first. You want to tackle Petrino or Petersen?
I don't want to tackle either guy. I'll probably bounce off him like a ping pong ball, especially Petrino. It's so funny because Vitor Petrino, that last name just sounds small, but now we have like the inflow. Like, look at that. Oh, it's so tiny. It's Petrino. And now we have this giant blown up.
Yeah, he don't look like this anymore. Yeah. He does not look like that anymore.
In his last fight, what we saw was that the man didn't do the heavyweight the right way. He's just big. Like, that was it. He's big. He fought the bottom of the dumpster in Austin Lane and got an absolute gift. I firmly believe that if he showed up in that shape against anybody notable, he was about to get his ass kicked.
Really?
Because he did the old, I'm just going to lift weights and eat steaks. And he got through Austin Lane in round 1. We have no idea what heavyweight Petrino is after round 2 and round 3. UFC's doing him a real big favor in this fight because they're putting him against somebody who has no danger at all. Thomas Petersen's path to victory here is to survive round 1 and somehow end up on top in round 2. And somehow get another takedown in round 3. On the feet, he is a dead man walking against Petrino. There's no power behind Thomas Petersen's strikes. It's pitter-patter. He doesn't have good defense. He doesn't have good head movement. His wrestling is very limited against someone who can physically outmuscle him, and Petrino is going to be able to outmuscle him. So as much as I want to see this Petrino tested against somebody legit, I think he rolls over Thomas Petersen in this spot. This is a handmade matchup for him at heavyweight.
We've had such a great read on Thomas Petersen. This guy that they gave him on Contender Series was laughable. It was half his size. It was an easy one. It was an easy win, but he couldn't even get it done in round 1. Remember, it took him to round 2. He couldn't get this guy
we were
out.
Worried.
Yeah,
We were worried. Like,
yeah, we had a huge bet on him in that fight. It came through, but it was like, wait a minute, you're not going to finish him in round 1? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Losing to Jamal Pogues is a really bad look. Mohammed Usman, that win, we touched on it with Mohammed Usman. It was not exactly the most confident win ever. And I got pushed back on this one. I was like, I got Gaziev by finish, man. He's
we both did.
Nuke.
We loved Gaziev.
Yeah, we were like, he's going to nuke Thomas Petersen, and he did. I was like, I can't wait to bet against Thomas Petersen again. Then they give him Don'Tale Mayes. Like, we're betting on Thomas Petersen. And he couldn't get Don'Tale Mayes out of there. He got Don'Tale Mayes down, but everybody does. And I'm with you on this read. Petersen, when he wrestles somebody that's his size or his skill level, it doesn't go well. Striking, it's not great. Like, it doesn't really scare anybody. And you're right. Petrino, so
Here's the thing: Petrino can wrestle.
Oh, absolutely. He can. He's a better wrestler than Petersen is. I actually kind of liked Petrino in his last one. What's so funny is how big he was, and he was like, "Yeah, this is like my natural weight class, and I'm not dead, with the weight cuts and everything." But he just can't make the stupid mistake. Made a stupid mistake against Anthony Smith, which we predicted.
Yep.
And he was doing great against Dustin Jacoby and gets caught in the third. He's like Ricardo Ramos, who I believe we're going to get to, where it's like these two are the kings of costing themselves fights with one stupid mistake. He didn't make it against Austin Lane, and it was a dominant victory. As long as he just doesn't make the big mistake, but even if he does, is Thomas Petersen the guy?
No.
To get him out of there, I'm struggling to make a case for Petersen. We've had a great read on him, when to bet on him and when to bet on him and against him, and this week is definitely a bet against. So
Petrino's going to have to death gas. He's going to have the death gas of all death gas in round 3. For Petersen to have a shot.
Yeah, and even then, Petersen not known for his cardio. Like he can go the distance, but it's not like he's a killer in the third round. So, all right, we have our 5% best bet that is up. We hit our 5% last Saturday, and we're gonna have another 5% next week. Just telling you guys right now. We're hoping 3 in a row. So jump on board with us. This is a bet that we have already locked in. Mine has moved a little bit, but it's still absolutely playable. We knew what this bet was going to be last week. We just had to wait until Sunday to put it up, and as soon as these lines got up everywhere, we were able to jump on it. So it's a 5% best bet. Any other plays that we have on this card will be on there, but we may just need this one, Jim. I don't know if we're going to have a whole lot more on this card for official bets. Maybe just a one and done. And
we either one or done. There's a couple things that we're going to eye up that we're waiting for with weigh-ins. But
wait on some props
listen,
and weigh-ins. Yeah,
1-0 is better than 1-1. I'll take 1-0 every week.
Absolutely. So that is over at wagertalkwt.buzz/AL. So looking forward to cashing another 5% best bet. All right, let's move on to Filho and our boy Clayton Carpenter. What say you?
So this is an interesting fight for me. So I'm a big Filho fan.
Yep.
I think his skill set is great. Yes, he's reckless. Yes, his fights are volatile, but I love his fights. I love when this guy fights. Even in this loss to Nascimento, it's like, oh, there's grappling, but you can't ask for 2 more high-level grapplers in there. If you really enjoy technical grappling and position advancement and resecuring position and staying safe and moving, the art of grappling, that was a great showing by both guys. The thing with him is he fragile? Am I missing something here? I've heard so many people talk about how Filho's fragile. He can be gotten out of there.
Fragile?
He's always hurt. He's always hurt even in his wins. And blah, blah. I'm like, I don't see it, man. To me, anybody can be hurt to the body, first of all. So I believe it was Perez, one of those 2 wins, he got hurt to the body bad in the first round and found a way to gut it out.
It was Perez. He got hit early and then muscled through it, which is by the way part of the game.
Yeah, I'd like to know if somebody can fight through a body shot, which he did. So I'm a really big fan of Filho. I'm not a big fan of Clayton Carpenter. So you would think I'd be running to the window to bet this, but this is a hair on the back of my neck sticking up here. They threw Carpenter, like you said, to the Wolves against Ulanbekov. This should be Filho all day. This should be Filho. And for some reason, I have not bet it. I don't see Carpenter having the skills on the ground if Filho gets into a dominant position to stay safe, defend, have his own offense. It's going to be Filho's world. But on the feet, we have seen Filho caught. And Clayton Carpenter is a tough guy. I don't see the knockout coming on the feet. So if anybody's going to get hurt on the feet, I think it's going to be Filho. So make some sense out of me here because I'm tied in knots. I should be betting Filho, but I'm not. Something's just telling me not to.
It's a fair point because I like both guys. I'm higher than Clayton Carpenter than you are. I like his skill set, but I'm also with you that I like Filho. I don't know. Can I interest you in a plus 140 at under 2.5? I mean, these guys are action.
They do have
Filho
a track record for it.
I mean, look
if you're going by stats.
And I mean, of all the fighters that was going to go the distance, of course it was Nascimento. Odie early, Barras early. He almost beat Makayev. Remember he basically broke Makayev's knee.
Yep.
With that. He's just finishes galore, and he's going to have a dance partner. Clayton Carpenter will oblige in the firefight. So there wasn't much he could do against Ulanbekov because Ulanbekov does what he does and gets a lot of boring fights. But it's Rocha, Tub, rear naked. This was a great fight on Contender Series. It went the distance, but Edgar Chairez, that was a fantastic fight. Mm-hmm. I like it not to go the distance. I don't care who wins. Just give me the fight not to go because it's under 2.5 right now is plus 140. I would just wait and just get the entire fight to not go in case there's a late finish. But you're going to get about plus 120, plus 110
if you're
on that.
Plus money in it, then yeah. If that was minus 120, it's like nah. But the fact that you're getting plus money on that much finish equity from both guys, I like it. I like the look.
Lucas Almeida and Michael Aswell. Which guy are we which guy do we have lesser opinion on? Because I don't like either one of these guys. I'll let you go first on this one because this is one I have no idea. Okay, I'll simplify it. Ain't no way in hell I'm laying minus 150 on Michael Aswell.
Of course.
There's no world in which this guy gets my minus 150 money. We'll start with Aswell.
There is no bet that is placed in this fight if it's not plus money. I don't care what it is. A total, a side. This fight is gross. These are two guys that we are dying to fade, and they went and threw them against each other.
Not fair.
So, to me, what do we do with those fights? We don't bet them. You don't fade doo-doo with doo-doo. This is how you get hurt. I'll keep it PG. You don't fade duty with duty. Okay? So, let's wait. Let's see. Maybe there's a chance to jump on it live. Maybe if you realize that both guys are horrible, you jump on fight goes to decision or something like that. I know some books offer those live, but I have to see something with my own eyes in this fight to really decide what we're going to do here. Danny Silva's a good fighter. It's a split, but Danny Silva's not super impressive. I'm not banging down the door to drop my money on Danny Silva. Timmy Kwamba, super limited fighter.
What a disappointment.
Okay.
We liked it on Contender Series, and he has not come to fruition. Yeah,
no, he is what he is.
Kickboxing striker with no power. What a great combo.
Yeah. Submitted by Pat Sabatini when your one job was to not get taken down by Pat Sabatini. Like we've seen, you just stay on the feet with Pat Sabatini, and you're going to win the fight. You have one job. Andre Fili.
This is the concerning one.
Yeah.
The Andre Fili. That's the concerning one.
It's terrifying. This is an Andre Fili that is just not the man.
He doesn't knock people out.
He doesn't have that KO power. And boy, did he that night. So it has to be the opponent. We talk about Aswell. It doesn't do anything well. What does Aswell do well? This Oki fight, we're very firm in our stance that we're out on Oki, this Oki experience here. Every time the man steps up, he's going to have a problem. Dorian Ramos split at Fury. Ugh. Bogdan Grad, losing to Grad. We saw some good moments from Grad, okay? And it was actually on Contender where we got this aggressive march forward, Bogdan Grad. Then he gets to UFC and he goes back to the boring, stay on the outside Bogdan Grad. So, I just don't know. It's just got to be a live bet. I don't think either of these fighters are good. I have to see something with my own eyes to get my money on it.
So, UFC is not high on this guy. I mean, look, so Contender Series loses a split. Then he goes to Fury. Then they bring him in short notice. He's half the size of Oki and just kind of gets pummeled for 3 rounds. He survived, didn't get knocked out, but that's an Oki issue, not a Michael Aswell. Aswell was okay in the 3rd round. And you're thinking, okay, Aswell did him a favor. Came in short notice. Surely they're going to give him a fight. Well, then he goes and takes another fight in Fury that gets canceled.
Yeah,
so it's not like
give him a fight.
Yeah, so it's not like UFC is like, thank you so much, we love you, here's another fight, put it on your books. So Aswell's striking is very limited. Lucas Almeida is just slow. I'm not impressed with either guy. It's a complete pass. We'd rambled on about these two guys. The biggest takeaway is just don't bet on this fight. There's no way you can possibly say I have a strong feeling on anyone in this fight. And if you do think you have a strong feeling, I would say, no, you don't. All right, we're moving on to Ricardo Ramos and Khan Offley. My boy, Khan Offley. What do I say about Khan Offley, Jim? He is awfully bad. This guy's been a cash cow to bet against. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, gets nuked by Myron Santos, and then really dominated by Naimov. I was kind of surprised that Naimov didn't get the finish, but Offley, he seems to be undersized a little bit. His striking doesn't scare anybody. You had him beat a Nathan Fletcher, who I'm not that high on, and then he just gets a really quick random. What's this? Has this guy done anything since then? Oh, okay, he's 1-1. But Offley's striking doesn't strike me as good. His striking defense is not that good. I don't think he's powerful on the ground at this level. Ricardo Ramos, I think Ricardo Ramos sits in a tier all by himself and making the stupid mistake that literally cost him fights. I mean, this Charles Jourdain Erosa back-to-back losses by guillotine when he just stuck his neck where it didn't belong was unforgivable. I'm not high on Koulibaly, so barely beating Koulibaly was bad. And Chepe just kind of bullied him. But I like Chepe. I think Chepe is a good fighter. I didn't think there was any shame in that loss. He gave a pretty decent account of himself. If Ramos doesn't make the big mistake, Offley is going to be in big trouble. I think Ramos beats the shit out of him. If Ramos does make the mistake, is Offley the guy that can take advantage? It's just Ramos's mistakes are so bad. Yeah. Like, so bad. Like, oh, I'm dominating a guy. Here's my neck. Like just terrible mistakes. The pick is Ramos. I'm just not sure I can be that confident in because the man's fight IQ and the mistakes in the heat of the moment are just too bad. But Offley, this may fall in the category of when you got a bad fighter that you just think is not UFC caliber, you just keep going against him. And it is in Brazil. It is in Brazil. You got Ricardo Ramos there. Who can we get Ricardo Ramos that he should beat? Call Khan Offley. What do you think?
You nailed it with that last statement. This is the matchmakers going, we have to, all right, we got to get a Brazil. Let's call Ramos. Who can he beat? Sign up Khan Offley. There you go. Yeah. That's the guy. Look, at some point, Offley's going to clip Ramos, and we're all going to go, because every Ramos fight, this happens, right? Or he's going to take a leg kick in like round 1, and he's going to collapse from the first leg kick, and we're going to think it's over, but somehow it goes the distance. I think
Can I go with armbar or triangle? Ramos on top, all of a sudden Offley throws up the leg, and there's Rogan or whoever. Like, it's in deep!
Yeah, it's in deep. Oh, no. Meanwhile, it's not even an actual submission. It's just, just hugging. I don't think Offley has the offense to get Ramos out of there. So if the finishing upside is on Ricardo Ramos, he should be the more physical guy in this, which is, I think, a rarity for him. I just think it's a tailor-made matchup. for somebody like him. The Chepe loss, you can't design a worse fighter for Ricardo Ramos to fight than Chepe Mariscal. That was a big regret for me, was not making that a huge play. Because as soon as that fight started, you're like, oh, no, he's too physical. He's too tough.
He can walk through anything Ramos is throwing his way.
He's got the wrestling to stay safe. It should have been him all day long. This is not the same matchup by any means. What does Chepe do to Offley? I think Chepe gets.
Oh my God!
Murders.
Oh my God!
Just like
he big brothers
right through him. Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna have the same firepower coming back from Khan. And like I said, it's in Brazil. Ramos still a young guy. Still has some potential and some growing. So I think they're going to try to get him a win here. Go with Ramos. Little sprinkle on fight doesn't go.
It's a Khan Offley fight. You're right. Yeah, you're right. And Ramos does make the stupid mistake. It's so funny. Ramos makes mistakes where he just instantly gets finished.
Yeah.
Like there's not too many other fighters where it's like, oh, you made a big mistake. Well, he recovered. No, it's Ramos is like, I made a mistake. I'm in a choke.
Yeah.
All right. So we go from a Brazilian who was like, let's get this guy a win. Call Khan Offley. Now we go to a Brazilian. He's like, I'm fighting who? Janata Denise. I butchered this guy's name. I'm sorry. Yes, you can leave a comment.
Janata Denise.
Janata Denise. Okay, versus Mario Pinto. We love Mario Pinto. He does. He can get clipped. Mario Pinto has some growing to do at this level. We watched him get clipped in the last fight against Austin Lane, but in the end, it was his debut. If you finish anybody in your UFC debut, that's good. I mean, the nerves, the step up. I know it's Austin Lane. Mario Pinto he's a very powerful fighter, and this fight right here, the decision, that was a 5-round fight. He managed his cardio very well, and he went 5 full rounds and still had enough energy in round 5. This is not your guy that's just coming into UFC and, we don't know what to get out of him. I think we do know what we're getting out of him. You're getting big-time length. You're getting big-time power. You're getting some striking defense that leaves a little bit to be desired. I think the sky's the limit for this guy. 27, 10-0 in a heavyweight. He's going to lose eventually. But I think this is a terrible matchup for Denis. Terrible matchup for Denis. He's not going to. He's good. His arms are not nearly as long as Pinto. Pinto's going to work that jab, and listen. You go through. Denis gets the weight on Contender Series. Fights Austin Lane, so he did exactly what Pinto does. He beats Carl Williams. This was the infamous Carl Williams. The wrestler decides not to strike, and Denis beats him up. Gets absolutely murdered by Tabora. Tabora gets on top of him and puts a cut above his eye so bad they had to stop it. And then he fights an engineer that was on all the steroids, and he couldn't get him out of there. Now, maybe he couldn't get him out of there because Alvin Hines was on horse steroids. But I don't think Denis is that guy to take out Pinto. It's not Pinto's time to lose here. Denis, what is it? Wrestle Pinto? Okay, maybe a little bit. Are you going to outstrike Pinto? I don't see where Denis is better than Pinto. The only thing is, can he get that big shot when Pinto leaves his chin, exposed, which will happen, and Pinto can get knocked down, but it hasn't got him yet. I think Pinto's the pick here, and I'm stunned that Pinto is now the betting underdog. He's even money, and Denis is minus 120. I don't get it. I'm missing something. Either I'm going to look like a genius or a complete fool. I love Pinto in this spot. What do you think?
Well, I think you're pretty safe to take this fight not to go the distance.
Yes, that one. They don't even have the lines up yet on this fight.
Give us that now. they'll be getting fleeced all week on this fight not to go. So I think unders on the under 2.5. Fight doesn't start round 3, maybe under 1.5. The reason why Pinto got clipped against Lane is because Lane is a very different striker than Denis. Lane is a long-armed, lanky fighter. That is not Denis. Denis is a square, compact, power kickboxer. So very, very different striking. And if you go back and you watch the Pinto fight against Lane, the shots that he was hit with were big looping shots when Austin Lane was all over the place in the ring like Austin Lane is. So it was a very unorthodox thing to have to deal with for Pinto. Never seen something like that before. With Pinto, he's patient, sometimes to a fault. But I think his patience helped him in that fight. He did get clipped. He weathered it, and then it was over. I don't know if Denise is going to have the range to be able to get to Pinto. I think the speed advantage will be there for Pinto. The length advantage is going to be there for Pinto. And if Pinto wants to wrestle, you get Pinto on top of Denise, and Denise can't get up, this is going to look identical to the Tabora fight. Absolutely identical. The man has absolutely zero ground game. If you go to Denise's record, please, and his profile, you will see.
The only difference is Pinto doesn't have that Tabora belly just rubbing on Denise, just that hairy old belly.
I don't think it was a beautiful thing to watch. We couldn't bet Tabora live fast enough in that fight. I remember
it was funny.
It was
yes.
great. So he beats Carl Williams. So what do? All right, we got this guy who beat Carl Williams. He beat Austin Lane. All right, beautiful. We got some momentum. What do? We throw him to the knockout king.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That fight falls out. Let's give him a shot against Tabora, old man Tabora. What happens? He gets smoked by
old
Tabora.
Man Tabora. Old man
to
Tabora.
hell, right?
Yeah.
So then what do with him? You know what? Petrino's making his debut at heavyweight. Let's give him Petrino. Fight gets canceled. Okay, now what do we do with this guy? At this point, we're sold. Let's give him a Tafa. We're sold on him. We're just out. Let's give him a Tafa. Tafa pulls out. They don't find... How is there nobody else on a UFC roster that wasn't willing to take a short-notice fight against Denise?
It's a great point.
I would have jumped at that chance if I was a heavyweight who had any wrestling whatsoever. They throw him this guy Hines. He's on all the Jews, and he goes to the decision with him. So you tell me, if you're running UFC, who are you out on in this fight? You're out on Denise. He's fighting because he's from Brazil, and it's in Brazil. And they need a heavyweight who's from Brazil willing to fight. So they're throwing him to a 10-0 guy on Contender Series who looked impressive and made his debut and did the deed. I think Pinto smokes this guy. I am not going to be surprised to see Pinto on top of Denise in round one, just pounding his face through the canvas. I'm on Pinto by finish.
Move on to Vicente Luque against Joel Alvarez. Did Vicente Luque insult the mother of the matchmaker? Did Luque's management not understand who he was fighting when they agreed to this? There is no world in which Vicente Luque should have accepted this fight. I actually worry for him in this fight. This is a guy that beat RDA, ground and pound against Buckley. He has suffered a brain injury. He choked out Themba Garimbo, and then Kevin Holland just kind of made mincemeat out of him. Like, Holland was so cocky and confident he was yelling and screaming at him in the first round and then chokes him out. So they were going to give him Pons and Nibio. Pons, okay? Old Pons, who has the cardio of a toddler. This is a Pons that got knocked out by Daniel Rodriguez, who doesn't knock anybody out. No. That's who they were going to give a fight. No Pons. Who are we going to give him? A step down? No. We're going to give him an animal whose last 7 wins have been by violent finishes. There's nothing
violent
about
finishes doesn't do it justice.
He's been killing guys, like absolutely killing guys, and we've been making a lot of money on it. By the way, this is a Joel Alvarez ass kicking if I've ever seen it. Unless Alvarez is like, hey, take it easy on him. But this Vicente Luque, man, he's 33. Yeah, right. No way. I'm sorry. I'm in on this. I got to shout out Cody Saptic. He started this trend against with Michelle Pereira. I'm starting to think he's right. That some of these guys, it just doesn't make any sense. Like 33 years old, all the wear and tear. His best days are way behind him. To me, he looked like he was 40 in his last fight against Holland. I think Alvarez gets him out of there by any way he thinks. Ground and pound, knocks him down, chokes him out. What is Vicente Luque going to do on offense to scare Joel Alvarez in the slightest, Jim? I ask you.
Well, Luque still has good offense, so let's not get it twisted. Offensively, he's very good. His grappling is some of the more underrated submission grappling in the welterweight division. That's where I'm going to lead into that word welterweight. This is Joel Alvarez at welterweight. This is a guy whose frame is built for welterweight, and he's been cutting down to lightweight, having trouble making the weight. Look at the power that he had then.
That's a good point.
Now you're going to slap 15 more pounds on this guy? I mean, he was killing himself to make this weight and still had the ability to murder guys in round one. This is out with the old, in with the new. We haven't heard it yet, but I have a sneaking suspicion that the R word might be said after this fight.
Do
Luque
it
says,
again.
still got a lot to do.
Do it again. Let's see it. Let's see it again on the
Saying
the
we
full.
might have the R word. That's too bright now. There we go.
There you go.
The R word coming up. He's not going to say it before the fight. He said he doesn't want to retire. He's still got more to do. But your health is your health. And why would you accept this fight?
Makes no
props
sense.
to Luque. Eternal props to Vicente Luque. But there is no way in hell I'm stepping in the cage with Joel Alvarez. Not at this point in my career. Did I see right that Alvarez was supposed to fight Ponzinibbio? And
No,
they told him for Luque?
No, so Luque was supposed to fight Pons. That's who he was supposed to fight on this one. Pons is out, so they bring in Alvarez.
Alvarez didn't have another opponent, right?
Alvarez was supposed to fight Saint Denis in May.
Mm-hmm.
In May.
Okay. That
So,
was the one I'm thinking of.
but Alvarez did not have a fight scheduled for this card. I do not remember, seriously, Jim. I do not remember somebody going from someone the level of Pons to someone the level of Joel Alvarez. Like
It's elite.
that's wild, man. Mm-hmm. Going from a guy who's getting knocked out by Daniel Rodriguez to a guy who's got 7 wins by finish in a row. Just
the thing that makes Alvarez great is that he's so patient. He's never flustered in that cage. Even when Arman Sarukian was elbowing his face through the canvas, he was there. He was in the fight. He was there. That was a referee stoppage. It was not Joel Alvarez unconscious on the ground. He was trying to defend. He just had brain matter pouring into his eyeballs, which kind of hard to fight when that's happening, when you have a gash in your forehead. So the guy is game. He is there. I'm not worried about the cardio. I think this is an early, violent finish by Alvarez. I am going to say an Alvarez submission. I think he hurts Luque, and we've seen him be so opportunistic with his submissions and so slick that he's going to lock something up. I don't believe that he is going to want to add to the damage of Vicente Luque at this point. But yeah, Joel Alvarez at welterweight, to say I'm excited is an understatement. I can't wait to see what this guy looks like at welterweight. Cannot wait.
once again, if you guys, hit the like button, please. Really helps us out. And leave us a comment. Tell us if you agree or disagree with us. Tell us what your best bet is. Love reading the comments. I'm getting better I'm getting better when people leave negative comments. I used to just get all up in arms about it. Now I'm much better about it. So I give you permission to leave bad comment.
Bring it.
Bring it. No, but please try and be positive in the comment section. We love you all, and we all want to make money here. And we can make money by getting our 5% best bet. How was that for a segue, Jim?
Nice.
Went to journalism
done
school.
this before.
5% best bet is up. It is hammer time. Again, we cashed our 5% last week. We got one this Saturday, and we will have one next Saturday. Just the cards are just too good to pass up. So, Davison Figueiredo, Montel Jackson, great fight. Absolutely great fight. I'm very excited to bet this one. Or I'm sorry, I'm excited to watch this one. I am not excited to bet this one. I do not have a read on this one. You have Fig, who coming up a knee injury against Sandhagen. Make no mistake, he was getting his ass kicked by Corey Sandhagen. So that means he was getting dominated by Jan. He was getting dominated by Sandhagen. No real shame in that. But he did win, previously once he's moved up. Is Montel Jackson for real? I went back and watched this Marcos fight. I'm a big Daniel Marcos fan. Made a lot of money on Marcos. Did not bet him on that fight. Marcos looked asleep. And my question is, did Montel Jackson do that to him, or was something wrong with Daniel Marcos? Because to me, it just didn't look like the same Marcos. What do we take away from the Blackshear fight? Just the fact that the fight started, Montel Jackson wasn't scared of Blackshear striking in the slightest. But then we're back to Ronnie Yaya and J.P. Bays. I don't know what to make of Montel Jackson. I just know that Fig is on his way out. They gave him 2 killers. And if you're going to bet on this fight, you have to. Is Montel Jackson that guy? Is he him? Is he a killer? Is he now? Because Montel Jackson would go. We always said this about Montel. We wish we'd see more of him. He would only fight like every so often. So I'm glad we saw him a year ago. We saw him in May, and now he's taking another one. So I'm glad we have him in our lives because I enjoy his fights. You just got to decide if Montel Jackson's the guy, because if he's a fraud, Fig's going to put a veteran performance on him. Fig's going to work leg kicks and all that stuff. I have no opinion, so I'll let you tell us if you have an opinion on this.
Oh, it's a tough one, man. This is one of the harder ones on the card to figure out. First of all, I hate the fact that Fig is coming back after a knee injury. We don't know what that knee injury was, but in the moment, it looked pretty gruesome. So I was shocked to see that he's got to fight right now. You have to assume it's not a major ligament or tendon. Got lucky if that's the case, because when his leg got tangled with Corey, we saw him grimace and grab at it and be down on the ground for a while. So I think we were all kind of thinking ACL, MCL, not meniscus. So he's back. Against Montel Jackson, we have the younger fighter. We have the naturally bigger fighter. He is great striking. I don't know about the wrestling. So we're going to have to see D1 Fig in this fight. I don't think he's going to hang on the feet, because that murderous power which made Fig, it's gone at this weight class.
Yeah, he didn't
it's
have
not
it
here. So if we're not, again, I harp on this all the time, but you got to take fights that were 6 years ago and just forget about them. Just put them out of your mind, because this is a fight in the here and now. Take all those fights in Moreno, throw them away. Just throw them away.
You're right. That's very well said.
It's not the same weight class. It's not the same skill set. It's not the same point in your life either. So, he's obviously on the decline. You can only stay at the top for so long before you drop. I think this is most certainly Montel's shot to become a name, really. This is a name on your belt. This is in Brazil. Was this fight proposed to Fig where, hey, we don't go to Brazil a lot. You got a chance to fight in Brazil. Oh, doctor said I need a couple. You know what? Take the fight. Think about it. How many more chances are you going to have to fight in Brazil? So
it's a good point, but I don't know if these guys would knowingly with a bad. Never mind. Never mind. What am I talking about?
Yes, if they
we had a gambling fiasco where they knowingly put a hurt fighter out there.
Come on, of course they're going to take it. You have a chance to fight at home for good money. At his point in his career, is he fighting
co-main money?
No, co-main money, top billing. This is Jackson's chance, and I'm rooting for him. I'm going to pick him to win. I think he's going to have more in round 3. I'm going to say even split decision, Montel Jackson. I think this is going to end up being a close fight. Fig survives round 2, round 3. Maybe takes round 1. Let's go Montel Jackson for the win.
It's minus 290. Montel
I
Jackson.
don't like about it. Hence why we're not betting it.
Yeah.
Again, predictions versus bets, guys. Two different things.
All right, last fight, Charles Oliveira and Mateusz Gamrot. We're running a little bit low on time, so I will make my opinion pretty quick here. I like Oliveira. I think this is actually a pretty good matchup for him. Gamrot goes the distance quite a bit. and he's just not that active. He's got incredible control. I think this is a really bad matchup for him because Oliveira is go for broke. They against Sarukian, that was just two world-class grapplers, and they did their thing, and they probably enjoyed it more than we all did watching it. Chandler went the distance, but there was violence and knockdowns and all over the place, and then get knocked out against Taporia. This is a good matchup for him. You don't want to drop down and fight a bunch of chumps, but Gamrot, are you scared of Gamrot striking? I wouldn't be. And what do we see in Oliveira fights? He always gets dropped. Is Gamrot going to drop him? No, I don't know. Gamrot is going to try and wrestle him. He's probably going to have some success. Do not be surprised if Oliveira reverses him a couple times and we get a weird scramble where Oliveira ends up on top. Gamrot, look at who he's fought. Okay, Ludovic Klein, Dan Hooker, the aging RDA, Fiziev, Jalen Turner. None of these guys fight like Charles Oliveira. This is a very, very different style. He lost against Dariush. I think this is a good spot for Oliveira. I think everyone's going to be on Gamrot, and just because of the recent losses. But Oliveira's fought absolute killers, and I like him to get the win here. What do you think?
Well, both these guys, a lot of fights, a lot of mileage. Charles especially.
Charles is leading the way.
Lot of
yes.
miles. Lot of violence with Charles as well. It's not just the fight numbers, it's the violence factor that Charles Oliveira has been living in, which was grown in when he was a teenager fighting. Real simple for me. To me, this is Charles Oliveira early, or it's Gamrot late. I do not think this fight goes the distance. I think that Gamrot can make him wilt, and we've seen Charles that when things go wrong, they go wrong very quickly. Charles is like that friend that you go out to the bar with, and by the third drink, you already know what kind of night you're going to have. You're like, oh, no, things are going south really quick. When you get to the bar and he's like, Jaeger, now. We're like, okay, it's that kind of night. That's Charles, man. I throw out that Chandler fight because it's just every Chandler fight's an absolute fucking circus. That's just what he is now. I think this is a fight doesn't go. It's a lot of pressure on Charles being in Brazil. And he's either going to show up and show out, or that pressure is going to get to him. And not even pressure outside of the fight, but pressure in the ring. Gamrot's going to get to him. So, give me fight doesn't go. Lean Charles with you. I think Gamrot's not ready for the violence.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. This is where we pick a bet or fight, whatever you want, on the card, where at the end of the night we're like, man, why didn't we bet that? Woulda, coulda, shoulda made a lot more money on that. Do you have one?
Yes, Valter Walker by submission over Kamaru Usman.
It's a really good one when Walker submits him on the ground, and you're like, really, an unbalanced, oversized Usman? we didn't take that. Okay,
took down a weeble wobble and submitted him. Good job.
I'm going Mario Pinto as even money or plus money against Jonata Denise when he's got the wrestling and he's got the reach and the power. Denise is coming off of a decision win against a roided up engineer. That's my woulda, coulda, shoulda. All right, parlay buster. What's everyone going to take that we think is going to wreck everybody? I'll go first, and I think it's this Mesquita. I think you're asking for trouble in this one. I get it. Alekseeva's looked horrific in her last fight, but if her striking's even remotely improved, she may be the better striker in this one. She still has the ground game skills, and a 5-0, LFA debutante should never be this big of absolutely never be this big of a favorite. So that's my parlay buster. What about you?
I'm going to go with Michael Aswell. The lowest level fight on the card, take the favorite. That's the guy who's going to wreck everyone. Nobody should have a bet on a minus anything in this fight.
It's pretty bad.
But they will. It is an undercard fight. Oh, actually, it's kicking off the main card. So that's looking at violence.
Yeah, you got to have Michael Aswell to kick off your main card,
right?
Jim.
So that kicks off
Give
the
the
main
people
card.
what they want.
Where do your parlays start? Everybody who tunes in for the main, let's take the first fight. I'll take the favorite. Let's parlay him with Luke. Okay, there you go. Have fun with that.
All right. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button. Thanks. Let's have a great Saturday. We will be live on the Winning in the Shadows YouTube channel to watch all the fights live. Live bets, guys. We've made more on live bets than we have pre-fights. That's just a fact. If you've been following us on our live shows, you know they've just been the real gem for bankroll. So come hang out with us at 4 o'clock Eastern start. Thanks for watching. Good luck on your bets.
Before we
Yes.
go, we got to tell the people, gas station snacks.
That's
snacks
right.
review Saturday night. Go to your gas station, get your snacks. We're going to have some good ones. Weird gas station snacks coming up.
Yeah, so you guys know we do taste tests every Saturday. And yes, we've been holding off on gas station snacks to save it for a big one. This is it. But we want you to join us. So go get 2 gas station snacks. They could be great. You could have them before, not have them before, whatever. Jim and I will have about 4 or 5. But we rank all of them, and we want to hear your guys' comments. This is going to be an epic night of taste testing your gas station snacks. It's great. So, all right, guys, good luck on your bets. We'll see you over later. Take care.
See you Saturday.